Welcome back to Now Michael channel. Today is February 5th, 2026, and the AI world has been absolutely packed with big breakthroughs, wild security stories, and some pretty bold moves from the major players. In this video, we are breaking down 10 of the most important AI stories you need to know and how they all connect to the future of agents, safety, and trust. Let's get into it. First up, a huge milestone in AI and mathematics. Story number 1 comes from Wired's Artificial Intelligence section, published February 4th, 2026. The article is titled, "A New AI Math Startup Just Cracked 4 Previously Unsolved Problems." Wired reports on a startup called Axiom, which says its AI system has found solutions to several long-standing, previously unsolved math problems. These aren't just textbook exercises, we're talking about real open questions that human mathematicians hadn't cracked. According to Wired, what's important here isn't just the individual results, but what they signal. AI's reasoning capabilities are steadily advancing. We've seen models prove theorems before, but Axiom is positioning this as a step toward AI systems that can work more like research collaborators, exploring conjectures, checking proofs, and proposing new directions. If this holds up under peer review, it could change how mathematical research is done, humans setting the agenda and interpreting the meaning, while AI systems grind through gigantic search spaces and proof attempts that would be intractable for humans alone. Keep that idea of AI as an agent that actually does work in mind, because it's a theme in a lot of today's stories. Story number 2. Google is pushing that same agentic idea into vision. This one comes from MarkTech Post AI News, also published February 4th, 2026, titled, "Google Introduces Agentic Vision in Gemini, 3 Flash for Active Image Understanding." MarkTech Post explains that most frontier multimodal models today look at an image once in a single pass. If they miss a tiny detail like a serial number on a chip, a small symbol on a blueprint, or fine print on a label, they often just guess. That's obviously not good enough for real-world use. Google's new Agentic Vision capability in Gemini 3 Flash changes that by turning image understanding into an active loop. Instead of just passively ingesting an image, the model can zoom, crop, focus on specific regions, and use tools in a kind of iterative visual feedback loop. Think of it like this. Instead of a student glancing at a photo once and answering, this is a student who can say, "Wait, let me zoom into that corner. Now let me check that number, okay? Now I'm confident." It's vision plus agency. That same pattern, AI not just answering, but acting, iterating, and using tools, is exactly what OpenAI is talking about in our third story. Story number 3 is from the OpenAI blog, published February 4th, 2026, titled, "Unlocking the Codex Harness, How We Built the App Server." This post is about the Codex App Server, which is essentially the infrastructure that lets you embed a codex-based agent into your own apps. OpenAI described it as a bidirectional JSON RPC API that powers things like streaming progress updates, tool use, approvals, and code diffs. In normal language, instead of the model just spitting out code all at once, the Codex agent becomes an interactive coworker. It can call tools, modify files, show you diffs, request your approval before making changes, and continuously stream what it's doing. This is the same agentic pattern we're seeing with Google's Agentic Vision. Models that don't just answer but operate over time, use tools, and keep you in the loop. They are turning from static chatbots into active software agents. And speaking of agents doing real work, NVIDIA is pushing that idea into business documents. Story number 4 comes from the NVIDIA blog, published February 4th, 2026, titled Nemotron Labs, How AI Agents Are Turning Documents into Real-Time Business Intelligence. NVIDIA points out a problem every company has. Critical information is buried in PDFs, slide decks, spreadsheets, web pages, and reports scattered across the organization. Traditionally, you'd use basic search or manual analysis, and it's slow and incomplete. Nemotron Labs, as described on NVIDIA's blog, uses AI agents to perform intelligent document processing. Instead of just extracting text, these agents can read across multiple documents, link concepts, and turn unstructured content into something like real-time business intelligence. Imagine an AI agent that can answer, "What's our exposure to this supplier?" by pulling from contracts, emails, risk reports, and spreadsheets, instead of you manually hunting through folders. So again, we're seeing the same theme. AI as an active agent that operates on real-world artifacts, not just a passive Q&A bot. Under the hood of all this, retrieval is a huge deal, which brings us to story number 5. This one is from the Hugging Face blog, published February 4th, 2026, titled Nemotron ColEmbed V2, Raising the Bar for Multimodal Retrieval with V2 Freeze Top Model. Hugging Face, in collaboration with NVIDIA, is talking about a new embedding model called Nemotron ColEmbed V2. According to the blog, this model is now the top performer on V2 5.3, which is a benchmark for multimodal retrieval, meaning retrieving across both text and images. Better embeddings mean better search and better grounding for agents. For example, an AI assistant that can instantly find the right chart, diagram, or paragraph across millions of documents, or match a screenshot to the correct internal guide. So if we connect the dots, Nemotron ColEmbed V2 strengthens the retrieval backbone. Nemotron Labs shows how agents can operate on documents. Google's Agentic Vision lets models actively inspect images. And OpenAI's Codex App Server turns models into full-blown coding agents. All of these are different layers of the same stack, agentic AI that can see, read, code, and act. But whenever you give AI more power to act, you also increase the attack surface, and that's exactly what's blowing up in our 6th story. Story number 6 comes from The Verge's AI coverage, published February 4th, 2026, titled OpenClaw's AI Skill Extensions Are a Security Nightmare. The Verge reports on OpenClaw, an AI agent that's exploded in popularity over the past week. It's marketed as an AI that actually does things, managing your calendar, checking in for flights, cleaning your inbox, and more. It runs locally on your device and uses add-on skills from a marketplace called ClawHub. Here's the problem. The Verge cites a post from 1Password's product VP, Jason Meller, who says OpenClaw's Skill Hub has become an attack surface. Security researchers found malware in hundreds of user-submitted skill add-ons, and the most downloaded skill was actually being used as a malware delivery vehicle. So the same idea that makes agents powerful, extensible skills, access to your tools, deep integration with your digital life, also makes them incredibly dangerous if the ecosystem isn't locked down. When we talk about agentic AI, we can't just talk about capabilities. We need to talk about sandboxing, permissions, code review, and marketplace security. OpenClaw is basically a live case study in what happens when an agent marketplace scales faster than its security. On the topic of safety and hidden behavior, story number 7 takes us into the research side. This one is from the arXiv preprint server, highlighted on Hacker News AI Topics, with the paper The Trigger in the Haystack, Extracting and Reconstructing LLM Backdoor Triggers, posted February 4th, 2026. The Hacker News post links to the arXiv paper at arXiv.org/abs/2602.03085. The paper looks at backdoored language models that behave normally most of the time, but if you give them a specific secret trigger phrase, they suddenly do something malicious or unexpected. The researchers propose methods to extract and reconstruct these hidden triggers from a model. In other words, they are trying to reverse engineer what secret phrases a compromised model is waiting for. This ties directly into the OpenClaw story. If you have agents that can install skills, access your files, and operate semi-autonomously, and they're powered by models that might have hidden backdoors or malicious skills, you can't just trust them blindly. We're going to need robust tools to audit both models and extensions. Now, while some stories are about technical safety, others are about trust in a different sense, business models and incentives. That's where Anthropic comes in. Story number 8 comes from Engadget's AI section, published February 4th, 2026, titled Anthropic says it won't bring ads to Claude, unlike rival ChatGPT. Engadget reports that Anthropic has publicly committed to keeping its chatbot Claude ad-free. This is in direct contrast to OpenAI, which recently introduced ads into ChatGPT for many users. Anthropic's reasoning, as Engadget summarizes, is pretty straightforward. People share highly personal and sensitive information with chatbots, everything from mental health concerns to complex work projects. Injecting ads into those conversations, or targeting ads based on that data, would be creepy and, in many contexts, inappropriate. Anthropic says that including ads would be incompatible with its goal of making Claude a genuinely helpful assistant for deep thinking and serious work. They also point to their Claude constitution, a set of principles they use to shape the model's behavior, and argue that ad-based incentives could push the system in unpredictable directions. Now, this doesn't mean Anthropic isn't commercial. Engadget notes that the company remains committed to commerce-based agentic AI, features that help users find, compare, or buy products and connect with businesses. But the line they are drawing is no ads inside core conversations with Claude. That theme is expanded in our 9th story. Story number 9 comes from Ars Technica's AI coverage, also published February 4th, 2026, titled Should AI Chatbots Have Ads? Anthropic says no. Ars Technica covers the same core announcement, but adds some color. Anthropic is reportedly coming out swinging with a Super Bowl ad that mocks AI product pitches. So this is not just a blog post, it's a full-on brand positioning moment. Ars frames this as a broader question. Should AI assistants be ad-driven, the way much of the internet is, or should they be more like tools you pay for directly, without hidden incentives? When you connect this to the OpenClaw story and the backdoor research, you see a bigger picture. Trust in AI systems is going to depend not just on technical safety, but on whether users believe the system is aligned with their interests, not secretly optimized for ad clicks or third-party incentives. And that brings us to our final story, which ties a lot of these threads together in a very sci-fi meets reality way. Story number 10 comes from CNET's Tech News, published February 4th, 2026, titled NASA Used AI to Drive its Perseverance Mars rover for the First Time. CNET reports that NASA used Anthropic's Claude in an experiment to help plot the course for the Perseverance rover on Mars. The AI assisted in planning the rover's path, and NASA deemed the test successful. Now, to be clear, NASA isn't just letting an internet chatbot joyride on Mars. This is a controlled experiment, with humans in the loop, and a lot of guardrails. But symbolically, it's huge. A commercial AI assistant helping plan real-world operations on another planet. If you connect this back to everything else, Axiom's math AI is helping explore abstract problem spaces. Google's Agentic Vision is helping models actively inspect images. OpenAI's Codex App Server is turning models into coding agents that manipulate software in real time. NVIDIA's Nemotron stack is turning documents into live business intelligence and strengthening retrieval with Nemotron ColEmbed V2. OpenClaw shows the risk when powerful agents and extension ecosystems grow without strong security. The backdoor research on arXiv shows that even the models themselves can hide dangerous behavior. Anthropic's stance on no ads, covered by Engadget and Ars Technica, is about building trust in these increasingly capable agents. And NASA using Claude for rover path planning. shows how quickly these systems are moving from chat windows into mission-critical workflows, even in space. So, what's the big picture from all 10 stories? AI is clearly shifting from passive chatbots to active agents that reason over complex domains like mathematics, see and interact with the visual world through Agentic Vision, write, edit, and deploy code through app servers and tools, read and synthesize massive document collections into real-time intelligence, plan and assist in physical operations up to and including driving a rover on Mars. At the same time, the stakes are getting higher, so security nightmares like OpenClaw's malicious skills show how dangerous it is to bolt on unvetted capabilities. Research into backdoor triggers is a reminder that models themselves can be compromised in ways users can't see. And the debate over ads in chatbots, highlighted by Engadget and Ars Technica's coverage of Anthropic, shows that business models will shape how much users can trust these systems. If you want to dive deeper, check out Wired's coverage of Axiom for more on AI solving open math problems. Read the MarkTech article on Google's Agentic Vision in Gemini 3 Flash. The OpenAI blog post on the Codex App Server has technical details if you are a developer. NVIDIA's blog on Nemotron Labs and the Hugging Face blog on Nemotron ColEmbed V2 go into the retrieval and document intelligence side. The Verge's article on OpenClaw is a must-read if you care about AI agent security. The arXiv paper, The Trigger in the Haystack, is linked from Hacker News if you want the research details. And for the business and trust angle, check out Engadget and Ars Technica's coverage of Anthropic's no ads commitment, plus CNET's story on NASA's Perseverance rover experiment with Claude. That's your AI News Roundup for February 5th, 2026. If you found this helpful and want more fast, curated breakdowns of the latest AI developments, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode. Thanks for watching Naomigo channel, and I'll see you in the next one.